Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bilal Singh Khan and welcome to Just Law on ICRA TV. As our regular viewers are aware, at Just Law we try to tackle any issues relating to English law, be it family law, be it criminal law, immigration, etc. I specialize in criminal law, be it road traffic or any other criminal cases. Therefore, if you ask any questions in relation to criminal law, I'll be able to give you an in-depth answer. If your question relates to any other aspect of law, then I will ask you and I will attempt to answer the question. If for any reason I can't answer the question, I will take a detailed note of your question and then I will answer the question the next week's show. Alternatively, what you can do is you can contact the control room, leave your details with my colleagues, and they will take your name, your telephone number, and I will attempt to contact you back in the next couple of days. Now, just a few rules before we get going. Because this is a live show and due to confidentiality, etc., there may be some aspects that I will not be able to advise you upon. Each case is dealt with by its own merits, and on some occasions I'll need to perhaps look at some documents, perhaps get further detailed background information from you that I cannot always do on the live show. Therefore, I will ask you to leave your contact number and I will contact you and we'll have a chat on a private basis. However, on the show, for today's purposes, if you have any question, feel free to call. There'll be a number at the bottom of the screen. Just dial that number, ask to speak to me, you'll be put through to me and I will answer any question that you may have. Now, our regular viewers will note that the last 3 or 4 sessions we've been talking about your rights and entitlements whilst being spoken to as a suspect by the police. I'd like to move away from that subject for today's purposes and talk to you about issues relating to Brexit, and also if you were to travel to Europe and if you were to drive your vehicle in Europe, then the rules and regulations that have changed because obviously Great Britain has exited the European Union. Therefore, there may be some of our viewers who attend Europe on a regular basis. Some may fly down, some may drive down, some may have businesses down there. Alternatively, you may be a European national who lives in the United Kingdom, has a European vehicle, etc., driving in England, and you may want to know what the rules and regulations are. Therefore, I found it prudent to just spend a few moments discussing that aspect with you. Now, first and foremost, our viewers will be aware that on the 1st of January 2021, as of midnight, the new rules have taken into effect, which means that Great Britain is no longer part of the European Union. Now, thankfully, there was a deal that was struck which has delayed a lot of the eventualities coming into play. For argument's sake, for the next 6 months, you will be able to travel visa-free as a tourist to the other European countries, and likewise other Europeans will be able to visit the United Kingdom without the need of a formal visa. Therefore, you'll be able to travel as a tourist to and from each country within the European Union quite freely for the next 6 months, and thereafter new rules and regulations will follow. That's in relation to short trips as a tourist. Now, the rules do change. If you intend to travel for business purposes, or alternatively, if you intend to travel for a period exceeding 90 days in any 180-day period. So that's 3 months. So for argument's sake, if I was to travel to a European country and my intention is to stay there for 4 months, at that stage I will have to go onto the government website for the particular country and have a look, because each country currently has its own guidance insofar as visiting the country is concerned. So if you are going to travel over 90 days, the recommendation is you contact the relevant country and you ask them what the position is in regards to applying for a visa. Another easy way is if you go onto the direct.gov website, gov.uk, and in there you type in that you are visiting a European country as a British national. It will ask you your background details, it will ask you the country that you're wanting to travel to, and it will give you the list of requirements to enter the country. Now, border control are going to be a bit more strict with British nationals. Our viewers who normally drive to Europe will know that there's different laybys in which European members, Switzerland members, EEA members could travel through. Unfortunately now we're not going to be able to use any other layby. We're going to have to go through a non-European layby, and we're going to have to be dealt with. Now, the talk is that you will have to show your return ticket to confirm that you're coming back within the 90 days. They may ask you to confirm where you are going to stay during the period that you travel out, and also that you have enough money to stay in the country and to travel back to the United Kingdom. So these are all questions that our viewers should be get used to, should be expected to answer when traveling abroad. Also applies if you're flying out. Once again, you're not going to be able to use the European buys when you're at the airport. You're going to have to go into the Great Britain or other passport entries when you're going through entry clearance, and at that stage they will also ask you the purpose of your visit, the reason of your visit, where you're going to stay, how long you're going to stay, and if you're going to stay less than 90 days, it should be fine. If it's a case over 90 days, and then you'll be asked further questions, and then they may refuse entry on the basis of you've not got a visa. So it's quite important for you to check with the individual country before traveling as to whether or not you are entitled to go in visa free. Now, there are further differences. In fact, we're going to go to a break, and I'll see you at the other side of the break.